In January 2026, I'm Chris, 49 now. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at 40, almost 9 years ago. And this video is part of a series one started to explain the different steps I use to optimize my health. So today, I'm going to talk to you about circadian rhythm. So why circadian rhythm and not sleep? Because at first, like many people I imagine, I thought my neurological state would be impacted mainly by the quality of my sleep at night. Actually, that's not entirely accurate. There's some truth to it, of course. But beyond that, you also have to be well aligned with your circadian rhythm. And to be honest, I thought I'd never manage because I've always been a night owl. I even used to say, as a joke, but there was a lot of truth to it, that I'd never produced anything effective in my life before 5 p.m. So it was a tough road for me. I thought it was in my genes, just untreatable. And in fact, I managed to become a morning person. And that changed everything. I already explained in my last video that it's good to go to bed early. That might seem obvious to everyone. I even thought that was the recipe for becoming a morning person, that you had to go to bed early at night. Actually, it's the opposite. Going to bed early at night never works and never will. To become a morning person, you must get up early. Quite simply. And that might seem complicated because in the morning, well, we're comfortable in bed, and we certainly don't want to get up. And it's even worse when you have Parkinson's, because you're not in top form in the morning. Weekdays, with work and kids at school, we stay motivated. By the weekend, we just can't anymore. In fact, I had a revelation at one point when I noticed that I was much better during the week than on the weekend. I finally understood that my catastrophic state on weekend afternoons was directly due to getting up late in the morning. When I understood that, I started getting up in the morning when my alarm went off at 7 a.m. Because obviously, to get up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, you have to set an alarm. When the alarm rang, I'd think, damn, already. And now I think, if I don't get up immediately, the afternoon will be ruined. And as bad as I feel in bed in the morning, when I'm moving in the afternoon and I feel bad, it's even worse. So that motivates me in the morning to get up right away as soon as the alarm rings to avoid the afternoon nightmare. So that's when I was able to start getting up at 7 a.m. every morning, once I directly connected it in my mind with the consequences in the afternoon. And by getting up at 7 a.m. every morning, I had to adjust my bedtime. I had no choice. I was exhausted and ended up going to bed early, not voluntarily, but involuntarily, forced by the early wake-up time. And after 2 weeks of this regimen, 2 weeks of getting up early and going to bed early, I was a different man. And I understood that dopamine production was directly linked to the circadian cycle. The term circadian cycle is misleading because when you think of a cycle, you immediately think of a circle. There are circular cycles, but also pendulum ones. The circadian cycle is mainly pendular too, meaning you recover at night what you lost during the day. And a circular cycle can start and end anywhere, and you can speed it up at any point if you want to make things go faster. A pendulum cycle has one start, one end, and must be maintained at a precise moment. A circadian cycle lasts 24 hours and is actually endogenous, meaning it doesn't come from external conditions, is inherent to the human body. And it can't be changed overnight. We've all experienced this with daylight saving time, for example. It's difficult to shift by a full hour. You can shift by a few minutes, which, luckily, corresponds to the daily change in the length of the day. Change it only a few minutes per day, no more. Ideally, don't change it. If you get up at the same time every day, your body is ready to produce dopamine. And if you provide it with L-dopa at the right time, production will be optimal. Once the hour's gone, it's too late. Miss the morning, and you can't make it up later that afternoon at all. You can take as much dopa as you want, but if the machine wasn't primed in the morning, it will work very, very poorly. So, in morning, I take a big dose of dopa. And to stimulate dopamine production even more, I walk for half an hour at a fast pace in the morning, as early as possible. If you'd rather run than walk, that's also possible. In fact, you should think of it like a swing. When you're pushing a child on a swing, if you push hard right at the start of the movement, everything will go very well. If you push a little too early or a little too late, or not with the right amount of force, it won't work, and it may even slow the movement down. Push the same way, at the same time. Do it for several cycles and you'll get great results. Push randomly, out of sync, and you'll get nonsense. If you didn't push at the cycle start, you can flail any way you want. Nothing changes. Countdown's already running now. So it's really very important not to miss the morning. Medication and activity must stay synchronized, especially each morning, 365 days a year. It may seem radical, but once you try it and see the results, you won't hesitate again. Below zero, on snowy sidewalks, I got up at 7, and by 7:40, once the meds kicked in, I was walking outside in the dark before sunrise. And I feel fine. It may sound radical, but of all the things you can do for Parkinson's, this really works best by far overall. I'm stating the obvious by telling you to wake up early and go to bed early. Unfortunately, it's necessary with this disease. And I think the contribution of this video is to motivate you to get up early in the morning by making it clear that the solution to waking up early is to associate sleeping in your mind, with having a nightmare of an afternoon. So you'll never want to sleep in again, and you'll be able to get up early in the morning. Once the morning problem is solved, it will be much easier to fix your bedtime in the evening. Thanks for sticking with me this far. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe or to like the video. See you soon for another video that might be about sleep.